Mark 14:45. As soon as he had come up, immediately he went up to him and he said to him, "Rabbi, Rabbi," and kissed him. Then they laid their hands on him and took him. And one of those who stood by drew his sword and struck the servant of the high priest and cut off his ear. Okay, Mark doesn't record who this is, but we know which disciple this was from the same story recorded in John chapter 18. I'm going to show you who this is. Then Simon Peter, this is Peter, having a sword, drew it and struck the high priest's servant and cut off his right ear. The servant's name was Malchus. So Jesus said to Peter, "Put your sword into the sheath." But yet Luke records that Jesus went up to Malchus, the guy that just had his ear chopped off. Luke 22:51 says, "And he touched his ear and healed him." I can imagine if he cut it off, there's this ear laying on the ground, and he picked it up, probably shook the dirt off of it, cleaned it, and stuck it back on the side of his head, and there you got your ear back. At that time, that guy Malchus that got his ear chopped off, he was a servant of the high priest, and for Peter to cut off his ear, that was a capital crime. And so because Peter had committed a capital crime, he would have been executed for that. When Jesus put Malchus' ear back on his head and healed it, what Jesus did was he removed all the evidence that Peter had ever transgressed. Malchus can't go to the council and report what Peter did because there would be no evidence to support Malchus' claim. There's no evidence to incriminate Peter. There would be no proof that Peter had ever transgressed at all, even though Peter actually did do it. And so this is exactly what Jesus has done for us by dying on the cross. When we ask Jesus Christ for salvation, the blood that he spilled as our Passover lamb washes away all the evidence that we have ever sinned. Every bit of sin you have ever committed is washed away. The blood of Jesus Christ removes all the proof that we ever transgressed at all, even though we did it. When we stand before the Lord on Judgment Day, maybe you're going to think of all the terrible things you've done, but the Lord's going to say, "The blood of Christ is on you. I see no evidence to incriminate you at all. Not guilty." Whew. Isn't that good? That's exciting. I want you to remember verse 51. Jesus touched his ear and healed him. Maybe the hour has come for somebody hearing me right now. Maybe the hour has come for Jesus to heal you. How does he heal you? I'm going to give you a verse that takes all the composure that I can scrounge up for me to say. Isaiah 53, verse 5. He was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement for our peace was upon him, and by his stripes we are healed. Friends, this healing that's being talked about here is not just a physical healing, like if you get sick. This is a spiritual, eternal healing. That although you have committed transgressions, and although we have all committed capital crimes that demands we all be eternally executed, the blood of Jesus removes all the evidence that we ever sinned at all. That's the gospel, and it's depicted in Jesus healing Malchus' ear. You are not worthless. You are priceless. Messiah Jesus died on the cross to redeem you. Do you believe that?